Welcome back, and we're talking with Deb Webber. Deb, before the break, we're talking about enlightenment. I know that in sometimes watching you work with a group of people, you sometimes get a pain, or you'll get someone's. How does that work? Yeah.
Well, it's like if someone's got a kidney problem or something, I'll feel it through my kidney area. But it's interesting because I then have to look at the muscles. So my vision, I put my focus, I tune myself into the muscular area, the bone structure, the arteries, the skin, and you go through all the segments, and I'm sort of, ooh. It's like, referring back to a movie, it's like you get a little capsule of the ones that they've got a person in, and they put them in a body, and they go around in the body. That's what I do. It's like, I'm in.
Yep.
So I'm in your body and I'm scanning everything, and I can feel by what I'm feeling in my body if it's below the muscle. And I go, oh no, that's more kidney because it's sort of in that area. And I think my nursing helped because I was a nursing assistant, so I had to study the human body. So having that, mind you, on a physical level, I can't remember it at all. But when I'm tuned in, it all comes back. I sort of know where pieces of the body are inside. So I can go, oh yeah, that's the spleen. And then some spirits just pick on me and they give me pain just because they can. And that's happened at a funeral. And I'll tell you about that, actually. That's good fun. But later. Okay. Or now? Later.
Well, do it now. Do it now. And then we'll find out a bit about your journey as to how this started happening for you.
Well, this is included in the feeling side of it anyway, because I was at a funeral once. I met a lady and she lost a few members of her family. And during the proceeds of our progress of the reading, I saw another boulder, and I didn't know it was death because I don't predict death. My spirit guides, we've got a contract that we do not tell anyone when they're going to die, because it's not about sending a human into the world with grief or worry. It's a guidance when you have a reading, like future things. So death's a future thing in a sense. So
because can we not change that situation?
No, if you're going to die, you're going to die pretty much. Yeah, if you're not meant to die, you won't die. If you're meant to be kept alive, you will. And if you find a way of curing something, it means you weren't meant to die.
Fair enough.
Yeah, when the time's up, it's up. And if you don't die when you're meant to die, it will follow you. Like if humans keep you alive, if you're meant to die, it will come quite soon after and you will die in a different way. So I don't predict any of that, but I went to a funeral for this lady because the boulder was a death of her son. And she'd already lost a daughter and a husband.
When you mean boulder?
There was a boulder. I saw a boulder in the reading, a rock.
Yep.
Big rock, huge. And I said to her, you've got one more boulder. Right. And I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
Because they don't say death.
Yeah.
So I said, there's one more boulder for you. And her son passed over. And we were at the funeral and he was a truckie. And he's in the cabin of the truck. We're standing, first off we were in the church and I was crying, and I was not crying normally. I had my daughter next to me and it was like someone had turned on taps in my head and I just was gushing. And we were picking up my top, wiping my eyes, we were grabbing anything going, oh my God, what's going on? Yeah. And I figured, well, I'm crying for absolutely everyone in this church. Then we went outside and this gentleman was his soul was in the truck and his coffin was on the turntable. And he looked at me through the crowd, and I was a fair way from his mother, and he looked and he said, go and tell my mum I'm here and I'm going to take off now, because his wife was in the cabin, she was alive, and the children. He said, go tell mum I'm going, I'm all right and I'm going. And I said, not now, like I'm at your funeral. Don't go away. He kept yelling at me and he said, I'm going to get you. If you don't go tell my mother now I'm here, I'm going to get you. And believe me, he did. The physical driver got in the truck and started, every time he revved the truck, I revved. So I'm, and he'd rev it again, and my daughter's starting to sort of get really upset because I'm just losing control of my own breath, and I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die right then and there because I just couldn't control my breathing or anything, and people were looking at me. And a friend of ours that does Reiki saw me from a distance through the crowd. She was actually standing next to his mother, and she looked at me and came right through the crowd and grabbed me and said, we've got to get you out of here. So she put her hands on my shoulders and we walked down the road, and as I got away from the truck, I was okay. and I had my back. I'm standing on the footpath next to the road, and I had my back to the church, and the truck started coming out, and I didn't know, but it was coming towards us, and I didn't see it, but I'm standing there and I'm going, and I turn around, and here comes the truck, and Frank yelling out, "See, I told you I'd get you," as it drove past. Okay, yeah, so scary, but I thought, well, that's a feeling.
Yet again, a viewer watching this and going,
Oh, yeah,
I think
rightio.
I'll change stations.
Hey, ring anyone at that funeral. They'll tell you.
So they were all aware of this.
Oh, well, everyone could see me going,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
probably looked like I was having a fit or something.
And this is not something you'd ordinarily have that physical.
Oh, gosh, no, not usually.
Okay.
Not that severe. Oh, that was pretty dramatic. But what that did is that's where I took on the work of actually going to funerals for people. And I just go along and sit there and say what's happening in the funeral, because I've done it a few times, just going to people that I know that are passed.
Yeah.
And I see the soul at their own funeral. And I've told the families later what I see. And the response has absolutely been amazing. They say, "My God, you've just taken 6 months of grief off us."
Wow.
And things like that. And, you know, it's like, wow, that is so beautiful. So if I can do that, then I go to funerals and to see if I can see them.
Okay. Why you? Why do you think you've been given this amazing gift? I mean, we all have intuition. We all have the ability to be psychic if we choose to start developing it. So how did it happen for you?
Why me? Well, because I've had it all my life, my whole life. It's never been. There's only been 1 week in my life that the spirits haven't been around. Only because I kept saying, take it away, because I got picked on a lot and everything. And they did. They took it away for a week. It's not that they disappeared. They sat back, and it was the worst week of my whole life. It was empty. You know, it wasn't fulfilling. I had no desire to do anything. It was just empty. And that taught me about faith. If someone doesn't have faith in something, their world must be pretty hollow. You know? And
How long ago was this?
oh, that was years ago. I was like a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, when they did that. But it always stuck in my mind because I thought I never want to go to that space ever again, ever in my whole life, because I'd rather have the love of spirit around me, you know, because they're just beautiful. They really are beautiful, except the baddies, of course, but, you know.
Well, define baddies.
What was the question before that one?
Oh, we'll get onto that.
Okay.
When you say the baddies, what's the baddies?
The darks.
The darks.
The dark
Tell us
energy.
about the dark energy.
Well, they could be people that are dark here on Earth, bad people, you know, murderers.
Is it bad people, or is it negative energy, negative emotions, negative feelings?
It's all negative, bad, negative. It's not the wording really, but it is negative energies for sure. You know, you can have someone that looks really beautiful, like physically look really beautiful, but they're ugly.
They're energetic.
Or they're evil, and you can feel it. That's energetic. Yeah. So you have that. So when they're a soul, the dark soul, in a sense, the negative energy of the soul, is put out there. We have light, we have dark in the universe. You have to have balance.
Yep.
Okay. So you've got light souls, you've got dark souls. I choose to stay in the light myself as much as I possibly can. And then you've got the dark ones that are lingering around. Now the dark souls, like dark people, they don't associate with the light in a sense. They like to crush them. Same as out there. So, and I was pre-warned about this when I think I was around about 30. I was pre-warned by my psychic teacher at that time, because I had to have a spiritual teacher to control the ability. He warned me and Spirit warned me, and they said the lighter you get, the more work you do, the harder and the more difficult it is going to be for you, because the negative souls of humans, as well as the souls that are past or anyone else lurking around, you know, the dark energies will come and try and squash you down. And they said, but if you stay in your light and you stay in your truth and your love, they won't be able to. And well, I go, yeah, because the dark can't exist in the light.
In the light.
Yeah? They become light if they stay in the light. It's the same as a light soul. If they go over to the dark, that's, you know, they become the dark. They can't just sit there, in a sense. Or they can, but does that make sense?
Well, I'm going to take a break, and I want to come back and ask a couple of more questions around that dark side.
Okay.
Stay with us.